out, do me a favor. If you are watching on the replay, drop a hashtag replay down below. And if you happen to jump on right now as I'm speaking, drop a hashtag live. I want to see who's tuning into this message. So, you guys, we live in the craziest time. Like, this is such a tumultuous, crazy time. Every single day, there's new information coming out about how crazy the world is, how corrupt people are. There's all these different opinions. The news is gaslighting people left and right. And now you're fighting with your neighbor, you're fighting with your in laws, right? People are angry and upset. And I want to share with you how I'm handling the current state of our affairs in this country. Corrupt politicians, the Epstein list, all this stuff, ICE, immigration, liberals, Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, all of this stuff, right? I want to share with you how I'm handling this. If you don't know my story, my backstory, at 23, I was facing life in prison, and I spent from the age of 23 till nearly 30, 29 and a half incarcerated for something I didn't do. I was facing life in prison. I ended up being sentenced to 6 years. I did 5.5 of that 6 years. When I was in prison, I found the most peace I had ever experienced in my life. I had so much internal peace. And one of the main reasons is because I was removed from the world. I was removed from society, right? One thing, if you understand or study the Bible, one of the main things that people talk about is Jesus told his disciples, I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened, but basically said, don't be of the world, be of me, be like me. And I never really, understood what that meant for many years. I understood it, but I didn't feel it. There's a big difference. Well, when I went away to prison, I was removed from society and all the conditioning out here, all the stuff that you hear from an early age that you need to be happy regarding money, materialism, certain belief systems that we developed, whatever it is. And I recognized, that the way of the world will corrupt you over time. But the truth that God bestows upon us and our heart, your consciousness, that feeling inside you that's calling you to be a better person, that path will always lead to peace and harmony within your life. It doesn't mean that you're going to be devoid of challenges. There will be obstacles. There will be setbacks. It will be difficult at times. But you have a way different energy and perspective going through those circumstances. And so in prison, I tapped into God's truth. I was so broken down. I was lonely. I was hungry. I missed my family. I was scared for my future. I had no recourse. And I remember the only thing I felt that I could do to try to get through the days was to hit my knees and pray for strength and guidance. And that led to me shifting my perspective to realize that maybe God was intervening in my life for a reason, and maybe being incarcerated would save my life and get me sober. Maybe it would get me away from toxic relationships. Maybe going to prison was going to help me. It was because I wasn't corrupted by the external world. My energy was pure because it was because I wasn't corrupted by the external world. My energy was pure because I was following my heart and listening to that intuition. And, so what I found recently was I found myself starting to get pulled back into the ways of the world. Okay. I found myself watching the news, paying attention to politics, picking sides, getting angry at people that didn't believe what I believe, getting angry at people for certain things that they're doing or saying. And I realized that I was starting to fight fire with fire. I was reacting the same way that I was condemning those people for behaving. And so around Super Bowl, what happened was when I saw Bad Bunny perform, I didn't think it was a good move by the NFL. I didn't like it, and I posted about it. And I got a bunch of hate and negative comments online, which is normal, right? But the thing that kind of hurt me and got me to really reflect and think was that my wife's Mexican. My children are half Mexican. My in-laws are Mexican. And some of them took offense to what I was saying about Bad Bunny because I said I didn't think he should be speaking Spanish and they should have waved the American flag only, da-da-da-da-da, right? My beliefs, my feelings. And they took offense to it because they thought it was about their culture, and it wasn't. It was about the bigger picture here related to politics and control and what's happening to divide us. But people didn't take it that way. They took it as me, basically taking a shot at their heritage and their ethnicity. And it caused me to reflect and think about my motives and my intentions behind posting content like that. Like, what am I trying to get out of that? Clicks and views? Am I going to start some actual dialogue? Am I going to run for office one day and try to change these things? What's the motive, Sean? What are my intentions here? And I realized that what I was doing is I was fighting fire with fire. I was putting out content that was basically yelling my opinion at people, trying to get them to see my point of view. But the way I was doing it was only creating, it was only creating chaos. It was only creating, more divisiveness. It was only creating, just negativity. I wasn't putting out something that could actually help or unite people. And so, man, God's been working in my life powerfully because I was reflecting on this. And in my heart, I truly want to help people. I want to be a good human being that contributes to society and helps people live the ultimate life and share what I've gone through in a way that I can give back to others. And it hit me the other day, and I go, wow, man, like, there's a lot of negativity in this world. And instead of sitting here trying to scream my point and get my point across to people, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do the most good I possibly can while I'm alive. I'm going to do so much good in my community and so much good in my life that it's going to outshine the dark and the negativity. I mean, imagine if we were all able to grasp this perspective and really do this in our lives, the ripple effect that would take place. And for me, I've done life coaching for the past 6 years. I have a company, I have 300 clients. I have, 10 team members right now that work for me. I have all these people that I could support and I could help. And I want to help more people. This is what God put on my heart when I was in prison. I want to help more people. I want to help the world at large. And I can't do that if I'm caught up in this divisive rhetoric and picking sides in politics and looking at people as either my side or their side. Like, that's ridiculous, right? My whole perspective is literally to go out and do as much good as I possibly can for my community and the world at large, to the point where that light, that positive light, outshines the darkness in this world. And then the next thought that struck me was, Sean, what if you only had a couple years left to live? I'm 37 and a half now. What if you knew that you were going to die at 40 years old? How much differently would you be living going forward? And that thought that struck me really put things in perspective, because number one, when you think about death and death in a couple years, a couple things happen. What's most important to you becomes evident. The people, the way you should spend your time, the things you should no longer do, the things you should do, it becomes very apparent, right? And so the truth is just presented before you, right? And there's a sense of urgency that comes, right? Knowing that you have less time, knowing that your days are coming to an end. Like, for me, it made me recognize that I could do so much more in my life right now. And I've been wanting to start a nonprofit here in Santa Barbara, California, where I live, to give back to the recovery community, to show people how I got sober. I've been sober 14 years, how I built a business, how I changed my life, and really just pour into the community and provide resources, provide mentorship, provide vocational training, provide job placement. I have all these business owners that I coach and mentor that are willing to hire people, and I can help get these guys training to get great paying jobs, maybe to start their own business one day. I could tap into the local community and raise funds and raise awareness. So my mind's been racing with the possibilities of what I can do. Now I have clarity, and now there's urgency there, because I shifted my perspective. I stopped thinking about the things that were going wrong in the world and acknowledging and talking about the things that I didn't like, because that affects you emotionally. What I started doing was thinking about, what can I do to make a positive impact? What solutions can I find? What can I do to help people? What can I do to be a positive example? It's a way different mindset. That mindset starts to produce visions and clarity and ideas and the energy that I'm feeling. It's gratitude, it's excitement, it's optimism. There's urgency there. And I have unlimited energy because what I'm doing is putting me in alignment with the truth that God has put on my heart for years, to be somebody who could help others, to share my hardships and the struggles I went through, to impact and give back to my community and the world at large. And you see, getting caught up in the ways of the world pulled me away from that path for a little while. I found myself being more angry, more divisive in my rhetoric, picking sides, pointing fingers. That's not the way I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be someone that can unite others, that can help others, that can lead by example, that can inspire others. So I'm fired up, you guys. If you're in the Santa Barbara area or you're watching this all the way through, Santa Barbara, California, I'm starting a nonprofit. I'm going to give back to the community in a huge way. If you want to get involved, or you know someone that can benefit who's in the recovery community, you could drop a comment down below. And I just wanted to put this out there because I'm a big advocate of calling your shot. The moment you have a goal, a vision, idea, make it public, make it known, and back it up with massive action. And that's something you can apply to your life too. Imagine if you were going to die in 2 years. What are those things that God put on your heart to achieve and accomplish? What are those changes you need to make? Who are those people you need to spend more time with? What are those things you need to cut out? This train of thought will always lead you to a better life. It'll always put things in perspective and help you to make the right decisions now to live a higher quality life. And that's what I want for each and every one of you. So let's go out and change the world together. I love you guys. Have a great day.